right over here, let it go right there. Let that go right there. Yes. I don't think anybody's moved that.
I definitely didn't realize it was that bad on my right. It wasn't a fracture.
Right.
It was a crack, and he told me if I ever wanted to come back, he could
Yeah, that's the rib injury.
shave it down.
Right.
You can see it.
I've had like soreness and pain in my shoulders
Okay.
for quite some time, and it kind of radiates up my neck. I feel like a little bit out of adjustment.
Does it just go to the shoulder? Does it go down all the way down the arm?
Not my left arm, maybe a little bit, but just overall in my shoulders,
Okay.
my trap area.
Okay.
And like I said, it's probably been about 10 weeks since I've had an adjustment.
Okay.
And my right ankle, I think it's plantar fasciitis, has been kind of flaring up again.
Where's the pain? Just in the foot. Where are you feeling that?
My right heel, right here.
Kind of right at the base there?
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
So
Yeah.
right there is pretty tender.
Okay, and that started just...
I know that I've been kind of up in how many miles I do a week.
Okay.
So I was trying to put in 2 or 3 miles a day.
All right, not too bad. But the shoulders are, both the shoulders are rounded forward, and so that's what I'm trying to figure out, like either bent, that's what I was saying bench pressing, because both your shoulders have like a rounded, and that's a tight pec. And the tighter your pec gets, part of it can be a compensation. When you're pinching things in your shoulder, your body tries to bring the shoulder forward to open this up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a compensation to try to relieve nerve pressure by pulling your shoulder forward. And it's kind of like, I'll try to figure out chicken or the egg, which one came first. Did the pinch happen and then your shoulder went forward, or does that make sense? Is the shoulder just tight independently? But the alignment of your shoulder, just where I'm seeing your shoulder currently, the front part's going to age at a faster rate because of that forward rotation. So I'm going to I want to bring that shoulder open, but I'm concerned that you're right. If you have pinching going on in the lower neck,
You'll feel the I have like a knot back there that's pretty nasty. It's hard to like break it
around
up.
the top, around the top there. Yeah, that's the root. So that's the root of your neck. The roots of your neck, so like neck's like a trunk of a tree, and then the roots are down here. The more forward your head goes, these roots pop up. And so the only way to get rid of it permanently is to get the head back over your shoulders. Your neck is supposed to have this curve in it. And when it's not curved, all the stress goes to the lower neck. And what we find is that the wires, these discs are supported by so the discs support open the hole the nerve goes through. And so as that disc gets compressed, the wire is more easily hit. And then the wire that leaves your lower neck radiates out. And so that maybe they told you this at your chiropractor's office, they suspect there was pressure on these nerves at all. They say that's what I typically find, is that the lower neck ages more quickly and the upper neck isn't aging at all. And so we want to take the stress off this area and get your upper back working, get your upper neck working, and that'll unpinch. So maybe on the model, maybe it's a little bit easier to see.
Right.
The discs.
Cervical, the vertebrae.
Right, I'm going to use this just because it's a little bit bigger, but the disc supports open that hole. And watch what happens when you bend forward. Right, it gets bigger. And so that's what I mean by your shoulder going forward. It's a way of opening up that hole a little bit. And so it's hurting even when you're compensating, is my point. And it's probably been there a while.
Yeah,
Right.
I actually got some relief a few weeks ago. I knew I was overdue for an adjustment. I didn't know kind of who I was going to see or this or that, so I started using that inversion table.
I got you.
And I've gotten quite a bit of relief from my neck. It used to be a lot stiffer. I mean, if I move it around,
It clicks.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't.
yeah, okay. So yeah, it's
What
always like popping.
What ends up happening is by doing that move, what's the difference between doing that, Ed, and you adjusting it? Well, generally, the loosest parts of your spine are going to move first. And by popping your own spine, you're just continually loosening the already loose areas. It's hard to loosen the stiff ones, right? It's easy to move the loose ones. And so that's the whole purpose and goal of the adjustment, is to only move what doesn't wear out, which is this atlas. Even on this model is pretty accurate. See how loose that joint is? And look how the other guys don't move too much. And so if your atlas is working properly, then your lower neck isn't going to be overstressed. When the lower neck gets overstressed, you get all this inflammation in here, and that's what you desire to pop. What you're doing is you're releasing some of the fluid and air bubbles from these joints, and that gives you temporary relief. Even inversion, you know, it pulls everything straight and it does open up the foramen, and that'll give you relief to that radiating. But the issue with inversion too long to me is if it's just straight, all the weight after you're stopping inverting, all the pressure just continually still goes to the lower neck. You catch me? Right? So you haven't, the inversion doesn't loosen the upper neck, and the inversion doesn't fix the lack of arch that's in your neck. It does relieve nerve pressure in the lower neck, and it does take some pressure off the joint temporarily. But I'm not so certain, it's not clear to me that it's going to help us long term, and I get relief for a day or two and then it comes back. You know, it's going to be more of a journey like that. What I hope to show you is that if we get this curve back in your neck and get your ear over your shoulders and get your shoulders back, that we should be able to get to a position where, and I don't even feel the need to pop my own spine. I don't feel the need to even, I just feel great all the time. And part of it is also there's a lot of tension in here. So the muscles in here are tight because of the position of your head. So that tension in your shoulders will be there forever until we get your head back, but that tension's creating a lot of lactic acid, which is also inflaming those nerves. So we want to get the upper neck working, we want to get the ribs in your upper back down, and we want to clean out that channel that those nerves are sitting in. That's what we're going to, each of those three pieces that we're going to do today.
Awesome.
So have on your back here for me. Keep the head back, keep exhaling. I got you. Breathe in deep for me. Head back, exhale. Breathe in deep for me. Head back, exhale. All right. Yeah, not too bad. Got about maybe 75% of everything working the way I want it.
Okay.
You know, it's like I've seen way worse on a first back until you've been adjusted. There's people have gone in there and checked those guys, but I am a perfectionist. I want that moving like butter in there.
Okay.
There shouldn't be any. You shouldn't have to He-Man even though you're a big guy and broad shoulders. Those joints should just effortless.
Okay.
Side facing me. The more forward your head goes, the more weight that goes onto our toes. The more weight that's on your toes, the tighter this muscle gets.
Mm-hmm.
The tighter this muscle gets, the arch drops. When the arch drops, you get pain on your heel. 80% of your weight belongs on your heels when you're standing. You should be able to pick up your feet without any difficulty. Your toes, I mean. Does that make sense? If there's too much weight forward from your head being forward, do you get the idea? There's too much weight on your toes now.
Yeah.
Arches drop. And that happens sometimes because we have, does that make sense? Back and shoulder tension. Okay.
Well, I'm definitely on my toes a lot. You know, with jumping rope and how active I am.
Right.
Every day.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be hard to solve that because being on the toes, I'll check these muscles in a second, but I'll see if I can release some of the tension in there. But that's there we go. Breathe in deep for me. Exhale. Other side for me. Good. Face up for me. Just gonna relax your neck. It is relaxed, Ed. Feel your neck is just tense, laying down. Like there's no weight on your frame. Feel the sternocleidomastoid. This is your SCM muscle here, and it's just tense. Feel that?
Yeah.
This muscle is just that. Hopefully somebody else has told you this. This should not be. You should not have engagement. This muscle's engaged, and it's like I got the car on the lift and the engine's still running. I'm like, why is the engine still running? There should be no engagement of this muscle. So there's guarding going on in here. Car accidents, falls, any injuries here I need to know about?
No.
No recent injuries?
No.
Do you play football in high school or something? There's something going on. I'm missing a piece here.
Yeah. I was a athlete in high school.
What sports?
Football, wrestling for a little bit.
What position in football? What position?
I played strong safety.
Gotcha. Okay. So you were doling out the punishment, but you still had to, I think wide receiver is the toughest one because then you don't know when the hits are coming.
Yeah.
The safety might be able to. I got massive guarding is what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to figure out why. It's like your body's going like this, and I'm like, why are we in guard mode? I'm just gonna massage you for a second. Go real gentle. There we go. I got you. I got your head. There we go. I'm gonna go real gentle today. I'm just trying to see why everybody's on high alert in here. I got you. Real gentle. It's okay. Here we go. All right. Real gentle. I got you. Oh boy. Wow. Yeah. I got you. Keep that chin up. It's okay. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that your lower neck is pinching on the left lower. The right upper part of your neck is the stiffest part. Right here, it's all bound up. And this is supposed to be your main engine, the first vertebrae to move. And if this vertebrae doesn't move, your lower neck is going to be overworked on the opposite lower side. There's nothing wrong with that area. It's just doing all the work. Your upper neck is designed to function first and the lower neck last, so it shouldn't be possible to wear out your lower neck without first wearing out your upper neck. The image that we use to prove what I'm trying to say to you is an MRI. The magnetic resonance imaging allows us to visualize the disc, and pressure on the nerve is most likely from the disc. It can be from the joint, but based on how stiff the upper neck is, I'm gonna, if I was a betting man, I would say that we have a disc bulge maybe, could be herniated, but more likely just bulged, and we want to stop accelerated aging of that disc.
You're talking about my neck?
Yes, sir.
My upper neck.
Lower neck. So the disc is, the lower neck is what controls that shoulder. The pain out here is coming from the lower neck. This area is being overburdened based on your alignment. The upper neck isn't moving. It feels like concrete up here, brother. It is. I got pretty strong thumbs, and I feel like I'm out in the parking lot, jamming my thumb into concrete, and like my thumb almost hurts a little bit. I do this for a living, but that is stiff. You have your sternocleidomastoid muscles are in spasms. Something happened either from the high school, and for the last 20 years, your neck has been in guard mode, and somebody's got to break down these walls that are in here. The lower neck didn't do anything wrong. It's just doing everything. We have to redirect pressure. Your upper back is working. That's what I'm impressed. I'm amazed at the disparity. So I expected, with this upper neck being as stiff as it was, I'm happy. That's probably maybe why you've made it this far, is that your upper back's at least working. Does that make sense? If this was solid too, and your upper neck is solid, your lower neck is just, I think it would be, my hand's numb. You're saying you'd be numbness in your hand or burning pain. It'd be worse than just some shoulder pain. So you at least have your upper back functioning. You're in right neck avoidance. This is all popped up and it's tight. You're going to abuse this because this is being avoided.
Okay.
If I'm going too hard, let me know. I'll try to. Okay, all right. I'm going to try to. When you start seeing me using knuckle pressure, it's because it is right there. Your neck doesn't like to tilt to the right, so this area's created a little pocket in here. And I doubt highly that you're able to click this. Get the idea? If I can barely get it to move, when you're popping your own neck, you're only going to be popping your lower neck further, loosening this, and this just gets stiffer and stiffer. And it's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Keeps me in business. And let that go right there. Yes. I don't think anybody's moved that.
I definitely didn't realize it was that bad on my right.
Feel that? I mean, it moved, but boy, that was stiff. I got you. Keep that chin up. There we go. Oh wow. It just needs another 10 minutes. It's frozen. This rib down here. So we do is we actually ice here. You ice the lower neck on this left side.
Okay.
Look straight forward for me for a second. Yeah. Right where that crease in there, that's where he's bending the most. And so we want to get the area right below here a little cleaner. See if you see that. You see that mark? Real quickly. How quickly the mark comes up tells me how much is in there too. And so real quickly, right where you're pointing, there's a lot of acidity that's trapped in there.
Yeah, that's been a problem here for a few years.
It's like. Come back here, see if you can see this going 15 years firefighter, yeah. I got you. Your left middle back is higher than your right side. This is, if you can sort of see, right, I want to work on you in a second, but this region right here, when I look at your back, if I put a marble on your back, it's going to roll off to your right because the left side is higher. Part of that is because of, remember that left shoulder's high, your right shoulder's low? Get the idea? So this is all cramped up and tight. What this eventually causes is right lower back symptoms. Because this is tight, you abuse the right lower back because your left middle is too tight. That's a tangle in there that needs to be untangled. Wow. All right, breathe. Okay. I love when you rub the right side of my back. I mean, there's nothing over here. There's relatively nothing over here.
Well, you can see what you're talking about as far as like compensation.
Right. If you feel that smoother, you feel. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's like
the opposite of my neck.
Right. It's like a third. It's like a third of the size over here.
Yeah.
But this will be the abused side. This is going to be abused because this is not functioning. You have left middle frozen back, right lower compensating abuse. I mean, there's tightness over here, but it's just half or a third of the size. It's not nearly. There's a pliability on the right side. Bring this arm behind your back for a second. Jeez.
Gosh.
What did you bury over here? Oh, man. This is why your shoulder's forward. I'll get back to that guy. There's a monster back here. Does that make sense? That your body rounds your shoulder forward to not compress this. And so, Ed, I didn't know this. I didn't know anything was there. Well, that's because you're avoiding it. Your body's rounded away from all this. All right, I got you. All right. Jeez, that is a lot of.
Try to stretch and I use those. Use like a foam roller.
Good, okay. Good. Yeah, that's the first step. It doesn't work very effectively when your back is this stiff, right? Get the idea? We have to get you loosened up a little better. I mean, actually, you're about ready. I mean, I would say you're with how your back moved. It's just we have all this scar tissue now to help to get you deep enough. it's gonna come out. Put your arm behind your back for me. I know it's tough. There we go. We gotta get it. There we go. Good. Yep. This is. It kind of hides underneath the scapula, but that's the glue that's been trapped in there. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. You okay? You okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Good. All right. Hang in there. The idea is after a few visits, there's really nothing happens anymore. There's no more dark marks. This is really a buildup that's occurred in here. Once we get it moving, future visits, you might say, Ed, I'm not nearly marking up like I was in the first visit. And correct. I've already cleaned most of it.
I mean,
Okay.
I can even see, like, that's like right over the spine. I don't usually.
Yeah, no, there's a lot in there. There's gonna be a lot on that left. This is not as bad on the middle, and there's still some here on the middle.
I'm just saying, normally you point out how his spine looks clean, but he's got a marker there.
Right. Getting all this. Alright, yeah, this spot here is gonna be.
You were talking about injuries. The only injury I can think of is a cracked rib on my left side.
Left side,
That
okay.
occurred, I don't know,
Okay.
3 years ago.
Okay. Do you remember which rib that was?
Yeah, you'll see if I flipped
Kinda
over and showed you. It's kind of like
on the front, the front side.
protruding a little bit. Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha. How did that happen?
Just boxing.
Boxing. Yeah, that's enough of a reason. I think getting hit in the head with a glove is probably good enough reason right there to why your neck's the way it is. It's just. Okay, see that right here. It's all coming out over here. Right, yeah, this might be that. Gee whiz, there's an injury right here.
You feel it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all, the rib's actually more raised. This one rib right here is.
Yeah, when I went and saw the doctor, it wasn't a fracture. It was
Right.
a crack, and he told me if I ever wanted to come back, he could
Yeah, that's the rib injury.
shave it down.
Right.
You can see it.
Yeah, everything gets,
Stuck out.
with the muscles it's stuck outwards, and then the muscles are all tight, preventing the rib from moving further. You're saying everything's in guard mode around the rib.
It's really purple too.
There we go. There you go. It's softer now. Just needs some coercion. There you go. Now you must get in the salt bath when you get home.
Okay.
I want you, and please do a couple rounds of soaking. Drink lots of water, and you are going to be sore tomorrow, more than you've ever been after a massage. You just don't be too mad at me. Should feel pretty good this evening, and then tomorrow morning's when, in the middle of the night's when your body's going to go in here and start repairing all the stuff that I've drawn attention to.
Yeah, it's pretty bruised, especially that neck.
That is
Yeah.
There is a large lump. That's over there on that left side. That's all toxins, brother. That's not good. There we go. Good. All right. Okay.
calves are always pretty tight.
Yeah. It's more up here. This muscle called the tibialis anterior is the muscle, the tendon of this muscle is actually what supports the arch in the foot. The tighter this muscle becomes, the more the arch in the foot drops. The pain you're experiencing is because the arch is dropping. I do not believe supports or anything that, I'm not saying you can't get some relief with supports in the foot. Does that make sense? But the cause, if this is tight up here, the arch will drop. Why is this tight? This is tight when there's too much weight on your toes. 80% of your weight belongs on your heel. If you're telling me, Ed, I do a lot of stuff on my toes, then this is going to be tight. And I don't have an answer for you other than the weight of your body doesn't belong on your toes all the time. We have to get the weight back onto your heels, and you've got to relieve this tightness in here. Right there. Toes are jammed. That one's okay. Okay, just the first two here.
I could tell my right ankle is all jammed up.
I don't care about the clicks. I like clicks. I don't need clicks. What I want is this joint to actually feel like it's moving. Does that make sense? I got no movement.
Yeah, I can feel it's locked
It is
up.
glued. There is no movement of your first and second. Sorry, okay, all right. That one moves. See how it moves? Feel that? That one's moving. Big toe's moving. No click, but there's movement. There is no movement out of that joint. Check these guys. Movement. Movement. Yeah, good. Easy movement. You must stand on that right foot more. That's part of what's going on, is that you got favoritism going on. And then the pain on the foot, the best way is you just as broad as you can, you make a contact on here if you want to come around here, Crom. As broad as you can, just hold pressure on that. Okay? Don't do any transfriction over this guy, like where it's hurting, right about here. Just hold. You're trying to press down the fascia onto its connection on the bone. That makes sense? And the soft tissue in here. So you're trying to press and sort of panini down that. It's like goes from here to here, right? As the arch drops, that fascia gets pulled, right? So you just got to get the arch back. The tendon of this muscle is what supports that arch, is supported by that tendon. So the tighter this gets, it pulls that down. So this has to be relieved up here if you want your arch back. And you're right, you can Dr. Scholl's and foot inserts. The main thing is if this remains tight, to me, it's all foregone conclusion. Like, I got you. Good. Very good. Yeah. I got you. Now, this one's not as glued. Yeah, it's already moving. See, get that idea? That was already moving before I even pulled on it. This right one was all glued together. Press it backwards. Keep pressing back. Keep pressing back. There we go. Good. It's okay. There you go. Keep pressing back. Keep pressing back. There we go. Good. All right. Go ahead and tilt your head to the left for me a little bit. There we go. Good. Yeah. Good. All right. Go ahead and tilt your head to the right a little bit for me. There we go. Good. Yep. Good. This is the blockage that to me probably started when you were in high school football. The tension or wrestling or boxing, and then that blocks the lymphatic flow down your neck, and that's why you have sinus issues. The sinuses drain down your neck. Now you can help work those sinuses. The lymphatic tubes start here at the bridge of the nose, they come above the ear and then down the back of the neck. You get me? Right?
Okay.
So when they come down through here, they're getting blocked, and then it backs up into the sinuses and into the face. There we go. Frontal sinus up here. And then some maxillary sinuses in here. But once we clean up that neck, I believe you'll get a lot better sinus function that you won't notice, but once we get that. All right. Excellent. You're all set, my friend. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.